Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How are you today? I really hope you all always well. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Fhika Aprillia and I am a student of IKIP Siliwangi. Now, I would like to take the opportunity to thank you all who watch and like this video, and especially for the Honorable Mr. Trisnandi Shahrizal and all of my beloved friends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to talk to you about improving student speaking skill using group discussion by Ningtyas Orilina Argawati. My presentation today is divided in 4 parts. The first is introduction, the second is method, the third is result, and the last is conclusion. Well, now let's move to the first point. Introduction. Speaking is an activity used by someone to communicate with others. It takes place everywhere and has become part of our daily activities. When someone speaks, he or she interacts and uses the language to express his or her idea, feeling, and thoughts. He or she also shares information with others through communication. According to what by Get, Lewis and Hill, also Widowson said, it can be concluded that speaking is an oral expression of an interactive process of constructing meaning which involves phonological and grammatical system, and require the ability to cooperate in the management of speaking turn in order to give information and ideas. Through observation, it is known that many students, especially in Wijaya Kusuma Vocational High School, said that speaking is the most difficult skill to master. It requires not only knowledge in terms of mastering vocabulary and grammar, but also a desire and confidence in speaking English because it has not the prestige not only learned. Now, and also according to Hoover, UR, and Piney UR, it can be concluded that the positive effect of group discussion is explained by Ornstein. He stated that dividing students into small groups seems to provide an opportunity for students to become more effective, engaged in learning, and for teachers to monitor student progress better. It can also enhance student cooperation and social skills. Now we jump to the next slide, that is method. The research was carried out the first grade student of Wijaya Kusuma Senior High School, class 1A. It consists 35 students. They are 2 boys and 30 girls. The research chose the first grade student because the age level of this student is supposed to be able to speak out the language as means of communication. The method used in this research is classroom action research. There are 2 kinds of data which the research collected. The first one was quantitative data, and the second one was the qualitative data. Quantitative data refers to students' speaking score that she took both in pre-test and post-test, while qualitative data deals with any occurrence and change happen during classroom activities. Quantitative data, in this case, students' score of speaking is analyzed by searching for its average score of each aspect of speaking competence. Then she calculates the average score of student speaking for the whole performance. At the end, she compared the result of student pre-test score and post-test score. Therefore, change in student quantitative achievement could be monitored. Now let's move to the next slide. Result. In the first treatment, when the researcher told them that they had to stay in group to have a discussion, they were really happy. In group, they could help each other and could practice about what they were going to speak. There was a positive change. In group, they want to speak, it implied that their willingness to speak was increased. It was because they had more opportunities to speak in their each group. In the second treatment, they were much better. If in the first treatment they still copied the vocabulary in their article, in second treatment they could produce their own words related to the topic. It is proven that in group, the student can get more opportunities to speak. In the first treatment, it seemed that they could cooperate with their friend in their own group and it made them more active. They also shared with one another the vocabularies whose meaning they didn't know. In the second treatment, the sharing of vocabulary was increased because they had to find their own words to build sentences representing their idea. They also could cooperate better and be more creative in creating their own statement. Of the pretest, the writer obtained the student mean of score. It was only 3,7 since they didn't have any willingness to speak. Then it increased by 5,6 in the post-test 1 and continued to increase up to 7,6 in post-test 2. It was an adequate positive change given that there was only a limited time in conducting the treatments. Now let's move to the next slide. Conclusion. And the conclusion is group discussion can improve the student speaking skill. But even though it's not a great result, referring to its criteria of assessment, time of research, and the student level, it's not a failure. Student achievement in speaking, which was measured quantitatively, increased. It was known through pre-test, post-test 1, and post-test 2. It showed that their improvement in their result. Besides, it was also qualitatively increased. It could be seen from their improvement of vocabulary and active involvement during the speaking class. Well, everyone, now we come to the end of this presentation, and that's all of my presentation. I hope what I have presented can be useful for everyone. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you so much for your participation and your attention. As I said, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.